Worthy of every song we could ever sing, worthy of all the praise we could ever bring, worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you, we live for you. Jesus, the name above every other name. Jesus, the only one who could ever save. Worthy of every breath we could ever breathe. We live for you. We live for you. So good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
It is so good for us to be here. And I feel the Spirit pouring out upon us like the rain has been doing for the past 48 hours. So I have a few people greeted me this morning and said, oh, it's raining, it's raining. I'm like, yeah, this is wonderful. All days are wonderful in God's care. As we begin this morning, I think most of us, hope most of us know why we're here this morning. Because this is part one of a two-part day with the service of installation happening later after the luncheon. So I hope you're staying for that. In fact, I see a lot of faces that I know are staying because I've talked to you. And sorry, I have had like no coffee today and still I'm bouncing off the walls. I could not be more excited that we have reached this day today and what it represents for all of us at this church and for the community. And so I am so grateful. Just to let you know some of the things that are going on coming up in the life of the church. We end April with this service. We end May with another interesting service. We're going to be outside for Pentecost Sunday. It's Memorial Day weekend also. So we're going to be doing something a little different at the end of that month as well. And then the end of June, we have our church picnic, which is going to be down at Memorial Park. So I see a theme developing here on the last Sunday of the month, maybe. Some other things, just to let you know, there's a number of announcements in the bulletin, but one thing to highlight for those of you who are our guests here this morning is we do a thing, and it'll be coming up on May 15th, called God on Tap. It's over at the main cup. And I want to highlight that because that is a wonderful outreach opportunity for those of us who are members of the church to invite friends, family, whomever that might be wrestling with these existential questions of life or faith or meaning and purpose to come and talk about them and have a conversation with others about them. And so that'll be happening over at the main cup. The announcement and the details and the contact information are in the bulletin, as well as many other opportunities to engage in faith growth and faith development. So there's a lot that's going on here outside of this morning and this afternoon that I hope you'll check out as well. I don't think, is there anything else that we need to announce here at the beginning of the service for the good of the church? No? Yes, Linda.
I thought I'd be passing the microphone around, but maybe I'm the only one with an announcement. And actually I have two. I want to stress the blood drive that's coming.
Use that mic right there, Linda.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You can just leave it there. You can talk into it like, you know.
Sorry. I just wanted to highlight two things that are in the bulletin. The first is the blood drive that we're having here at the church on May 20th. We haven't had one for a long time. If you're eligible and interested, you need to sign up ahead of time. And you need to do that online. We can't have sign-up sheets anymore, so I encourage you to sign up if you're interested in giving blood on Saturday, May 20th. The other thing I want to highlight from the bulletin is that we were told that several people had mentioned in the survey that the church did that they're interested in going on a mission trip, and why haven't we done mission trips? And so I talked to the folks at Garrett County Habitat, where we've gone in the past, and they do have a place for us early August. But you need to let me know if you're interested. There's been something in the bulletin and no one's contacted me, so if you're interested, you need to let me know so I can let them know. Thank you.
Well then, let us then move forward and continue in our worship here of God.
Good morning, folks. Would you please rise as we join in our opening song, Our God.
Water you turned into wine, open the eyes of the blind. There's no
join me, please, in a call of worship, which is printed in your bulletin. Come, let us worship our God who listens to us. Come, let us worship our God who understands us. Come, let us worship our God who loves us just as we are. And the invocation, please. God of the risen Jesus, we praise you for the great redeeming love that you have shown by sending your Son, Jesus. Help us to embrace the new life that the resurrected Christ is giving us, a life beyond our doubts, faith over fear, courage over confusion, belief over disbelief, and trust to follow your guidance. As we worship today, help us to feel the presence of resurrected Jesus in our midst, reminding us of your love and our purpose. Amen.
If our purpose is to show the love of Jesus and to share it, then let us do that as a part of worship. Let us make that an act of worship. Let us take time here to not only share a tangible sign of Christ's love and God's faith, but to greet those around us, maybe who we don't know, and embrace all who are here. So, my friends, may the peace of God be always with you.
And also with you.
And for our siblings online, so glad you're here this morning. Sorry we're not going to be able to live stream the installation service later, but we hope to make a recording of it and maybe have it available sometime soon. But in the meantime, God bless you. We're so glad you're here.
You may be seated. Our first scripture reading from this morning is from John 10, 1 through 10. It's the story of the Good Shepherd and the sheep, and I'm reading from the New International Version. Very truly I tell you, Pharisees, anyone who does not enter the sheep pen by the gate, but climbs in some other way, is a thief and a robber. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep listen to his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. And when he has brought out all his own, he goes on ahead of them, and his sheep follow him because they know his voice. But they will never follow a stranger. In fact, they will run away from him because they do not recognize a stranger's voice. Jesus used this figure of speech, but the Pharisees did not understand what he was telling them. Therefore, he said again, very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who have come before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep have not listened to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters through me will be saved. They will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I have come that they may have life and have it to the full. May God bless the reading, the hearing, and the understanding of his word.
I'd like to invite the youngest members of our congregation to come forward if you'd like at this time. Thank you. That's very cool. You're sitting over and I was like, slide on. I was like, I don't bite. So, we got a couple more coming. Hey, Max. My man. Oh, yeah, I got one more coming. Hi, Addie. How you doing, sweetie? Hi. It's okay. Oh, Daddy's way up there, I know. So, have any of you ever seen sheep in person? Yes, really. Have you gotten up close to them and maybe pet them? No, you haven't touched a sheep, Annie? No? So, bah. What sound does a sheep make? What sound does a sheep make? Bah. Yeah. The little lambs make the bah sound. The adult sheep are more like, they make a god. Any sheep farmers here? Any sheep herders? They're like, yeah, sheep. And are they nice and pretty and white and all soft and woolly and all that? No. They're kind of messy, aren't they? Yeah. And they get confused pretty easily. Apparently, I just learned that sheep are nearsighted. So they follow the sheep in front of them. And if the sheep in front of them is nearsighted and that sheep doesn't know where they're going, there's a sheep herder in Australia, a sheep rancher in Australia who talks about a sheep. He opens the gate wide and they all go charging towards the gate, but they miss the gate by about 10 feet and they run into the fence. And we're supposed to be sheep? This is what Ms. Laura just read about the Jesus talking about the sheep and the gate and the shepherd and the gatekeeper, and it all gets kind of confusing, but the gist of it is we're shepherds. No, we're not shepherds. We're sheep. And God is the shepherd who is watching out for us. And it gets messy. It gets difficult. That's okay, Mandy. Yeah, I know. Because Drew's all the way up there in the balcony. And it gets messy. And we're going to get dirty. And that's okay because eventually God gets hold of us. And before we get shorn, God washes all the wool clean and makes us all nice. But in the meantime, yeah, it's not always going to be nice and pretty. But the wonderful thing about it is that God is with us in all of this. The shepherd is out there getting dirty also. The shepherd is also out there getting brambles and getting stuck. And have you heard of the story Jesus says about the shepherd who lost one sheep and so goes out and finds the sheep and brings it back? Have you heard that one? Yeah. And do you remember what Jesus said the shepherd does with the sheep that's lost that he finds? Puts it on his shoulders. Now, what did we just say about sheep, right? They're muddy, they're messy, they got stuff stuck in them, and he puts the sheep on his shoulders and gets muddy and messy himself. And that's an image I want to hold on to, and I hope you hold on to also. That God is messy with us, and that the mess is going to be okay. Now, you might know, or you might not know, we were supposed to have an installation service for me back in November. You remember that? Yeah. And what happened? Somebody got COVID and messed everything up. But I like to think that this is meant to be, that today is the day that was always meant to be. No, we're not getting COVID again. Yeah, when people were asking me on Wednesday and Thursday, how you doing? I said, I don't have COVID, because that's when I found out last time. So we're clean, we're good, and it's going to be a celebratory time, and going forward, things are going to be exciting and perfect, right? Now, there's going to be mess from time to time. We're sheep. It's okay. We're going to run into the fence because we didn't watch where we were going, and that's okay. And all is well, and all is well, and all manner of things shall be well. Why? Not because we're the smartest sheep in the pen, but because we have a shepherd who watches out for us. And so that is something for us to celebrate today. So what do you say we thank God for that? Let's pray. God, I thank you. I thank you that I can be a sheep. That when we know that we're not making the smartest choices, when we know that life is getting messy, when we know that we're having our problems and things are getting difficult, that God, we're sheep, and that's okay. And you, our good shepherd, are watching out for us, and that you are in the mess with us. And so we thank you for that, God. A God who is with us in all things. So we thank you in the name of the one who came to be with us in the midst of all things, Jesus, our Redeemer. Amen. Thanks, guys. And like sheep, we have something valuable in who we are. They give of wool and other things. We give of our treasures to God who shepherds us as we give of our morning tithes and offerings.